I'm going back home for the holidays, so I decided to talk about presents, gifting, the whole philosophy behind gifting. What is gifting all about? Why do people struggle with gifting? So let's establish what is a gift first. Present or a gift is something one party gives to another one without receiving anything in return. So it's not a deal where both parties seek to gain something from making an exchange with the other person, but more a one-sided kind of giving away of something for free. A lot of people seem to struggle with gifting and making presents. They give reasons like them not wanting to feed into consumerism, that objects don't really represent what they feel for the other person, that they can't properly express what the relationship is like, that it feels kind of forced, kind of pressure to do it, that especially during the holidays it's not very natural. It feels just like something that we set up rules for and that we kind of have to follow whether we want to do it or not. And some people even try to exclude themselves from this whole cycle of gifting and say, I won't get you anything, but please don't get anything for me. I think that all these reasons are easily rebuttable and refutable. First of all, that they don't want to feed into consumerism. I would say that gifting is not all about buying something. You can do something, you can write something, you can come up with something, you can spend time with the other person. All of this is a present. All of this is showing the other person that you care and that you spend time thinking about her. Secondly, that objects can't really express how we feel towards another person. Then don't gift an object. I would say that gift is anything that is given out of admiration for the other person based on the relationship. So you don't really have to give them an object. It could be spending time together, showing them your feelings, kind words, planning something. Then the other argument that it feels kind of forced, kind of pressured, like we're putting rules on ourselves under the holidays, are just falsely creating this atmosphere of the need to get something for someone. I agree that it feels kind of forced during the holidays, and I hated that for a long time, but I realized that the holidays are a nice season to just remember to be grateful for other people and to show our gratitude to them. Yes, of course, you can show your admiration throughout the year, and you should do that by small acts of kindness or small little gestures during the day or whenever you meet the person. But the holidays are especially nice because they allow us to take some time off work, for example, and really give us time to work on our relationship and show our admiration for each other. And you don't really have to go with all the consumerism and all the pressure and all the hectic actions that are going on during the holidays. And lastly, I think that's the most unfair thing you can do when you try to exclude yourself from the whole circle of gifting and the whole ritual of gifting, and you can't really do that because that way you're imposing your standards on other people. If a person wants to get something for you, if a person wants to show their gratitude, then don't push them away because that's unhealthy. And I mean, you want to be liked, and if you like somebody, you want that to be accepted. And if you make a whole fuss and trouble around gifting, then you're kind of counteracting the whole spirit of showing your gratitude and being open emotionally. I think the main reasons why people don't like gifting is because they are insecure. Everyone to a degree is insecure when it comes to feelings of connectivity, feelings of liking somebody, not being sure if they like you back. I mean, the whole romance thing. We all struggle sometimes to show our emotions because we're scared that the other person doesn't mirror them. So I think that's one of the main reasons why people kind of struggle with gifts and don't want to do gifts and like participate in that whole action. On the same note, I would say that most people kind of see it as a competition or something you have to achieve, something you have to do great, and they don't want to disappoint the other person. You have all these pictures of yourself in your head, you have all these pictures what you want the other person to feel, and you have all these expectations that you want to live up to, and you forget kind of what it's about in the moment. And furthermore, I would say that we tend to see things as a task that you have to do good. So the procrastination that hits us usually when we stand before something hard to do, we tend to look for other reasons. We don't really want to admit that we're just scared or that could be hard, this could take energy. Of course, everything takes energy to an extent. I would say that we have the same kind of procrastination process when gifting as we have in other things like school and work that we have to kind of overcome. So that's why I think that the perspective on gifting and the perspective of the whole act, of the whole ritual is more important than the gifting itself. We shouldn't see it as a task or a challenge or something we have to do, an obligation. It should be more something that is about the relationships and about the other person, that the person can really see that you care for them, that you spend like a day just thinking about them and what they might like, trying to step in their shoes and really think, okay, what would they enjoy? So focus more on the relationship and the thought process behind it, on the emotions, than the thing that represents it in the end. And I get that everything that I said until now is pretty abstract and doesn't really help you in any way. So let me give you 5 tips for better presents or how to come up with presents. Tip number 1. Gift honestly. Get something that represents honestly how you feel. If you don't know the person that much and you only have one thing that you connect with that person, that gets something connected to that topic. Maybe your dad likes fishing, loves fishing. Get him something connected to that. Even if you have no clue and he already has 10 of those. Weights or something. Because in the end, it kind of represents what you think about them and what you connect with them, and that can help to build a more intense relationship. Tip number 2, gift with purpose. Gift something practical. Get something they can use, get something they might lack in their everyday life, or gift something that might help them in any way. You can approach this like a business person tries to approach the needs of their consumers. You look at the person, you're like, what kind of problem may arise in their everyday life, or what are they complaining about when we talk, and what can I get them to make this easier or to alleviate the stress. Tip number 3, gift socially. Get them something that connects you and that deepens the connection. That's an experience that might bring you closer together, where not only they gain something, but you gain something as well. I heard the tip somewhere that if you get something for somebody else, get something that you like as well, so you can kind of benefit of that. So that's what I mean with gift socially. Get something that you both benefit from. I mean, if it's your roommate, for example, and they like to cook, get him something they can cook with, and then they can cook you some food, or teach you how to cook something with the thing they got, like a wok, and they show you how to cook in a wok and how to fry rice in a wok, and that could deepen your relationship. Tip number 4, presents based on the past, looking into the future. This is kind of more of a general tip that you can use in tandem with the other tips. That could be something connected to an experience you had together with the person, and that might lead to another similar situation. For example, when you go out with your friend and you always play football together, you can get them some gloves or a new ball or a new kind of jersey, because then you know, I want to keep up this relationship. I want to continue having this kind of relationship, and I want to make more experiences with you. You can take inspiration from what you think about the things that happened, and you can get inspiration from what the relationship is right now, and you can kind of ask yourself what you want the relationship to be. And tip number 5, dare to experiment. This means getting them something that expands their horizon, that might spark joy, that might help them in an endeavor that they just started, or that they're in the middle of, a process that they're in the middle of right now. Breaking their limits that they have regarding time. You could prepare something for them that they don't have the time to. Spark a new interest when they talk about something. Oh, I wanted to try this, I wanted to try this, I want to try this. Get them a guide, or a movie, or a book, or the basic things you need to start off, or something hinting at it, making it easier to start that thing. Or maybe something that they never thought about, just to try it. And then you don't really have the fear of them not liking it, because it's something they have no connection to at all. So if somebody's into music and they're not really active, they just hang in their studio all day and just make music, they don't go out and neglect their health, you could get them a recipe book or new running shoes and say, oh, let's try. I don't mind if you hate it, I just want you to try it. And that really shows how much you care about the person, that you want them to see the variety of life and try new pathways, and you can kind of help them with that. And if they don't, that's okay too. Everything I said up until now could be seen as pretty abstract, so that you feel like I'm just talking from up here and being like, yeah, just do it and it's gonna be fine. Let me give you 3 examples from my gifting experiences, what I got others and what others got for me, to show you what I mean with the abstract tips I gave you up front. Example number 1, the wrong vinyl. A friend I had got me a vinyl, and I've never seen that vinyl, the band, the album, the songs ever in my life. So I was like, oh, this person went out of their way and looked at different kinds of music, looked at my music taste, and got me something to expand my horizon. At the point of gifting, the person saw my confusion and asked me whether they got the right one. And I said, yeah, I don't know this one, so this is the right one. And then we realized that that person misread a text I sent a couple of weeks ago, a couple of months ago, and got me the wrong vinyl. Because the album I wanted was Kendrick Lamar. Damn. That person misread and got me The Damn Yankees, self-titled album, which are very, very different. And it was very funny. We started laughing and the person excused themselves many times and was very sorry. But up until now, I think this is the favorite record I own, just because of the story. I don't like the music that much, but sometimes I just put the vinyl on and think back on the times, think back on that special moment, and I love it. It's one of the best gifts I ever got. So even though it was wrong, I still love it because of the story and how kind of this accident is representative of the person and them kind of being confused a lot of times. Example number 2. This one is about the special drawing a friend of mine made for me. She's usually doing very bright stuff, very colorful stuff, very happy minded kind of stuff. But when it comes to art, I'm pretty emo. I like dark colors, dark themes, rough edges, rough sketches. She sat down, got a small canvas and started drawing a picture for me in darker colors. Green, black, blue. And then in the corner, she drew a big sun in yellow and red and orange. And this is one of my favorite paintings ever made. I'm very honored to own it. First of all, because the person sat down and did this and I know this is a lot of work. Secondly, because I know that she listens to me and what I like. And thirdly, I can still see her style in the picture. She usually contemplates too much when drawing. She really took the time, finished this in time and just got it to me without a comment, and I think that was so professional. People that are very creative tend to contemplate too much and don't really get stuff done because they're not organized. But for her to be so professional and just finish it, unlike the other stuff she does, made me very happy. Story number 3 is the stereo system my friends and I got for a friend of ours. He always talked about wanting to listen to vinyls, and he talked to me about my vinyls and how I have my whole setup. And he had this very shitty setup with like a small speaker he kind of connected over USB. I don't even know how he did it. So we got some friends together and bought him a starter system, and that was kind of his start into vinyls. And I think he just appreciates music more and more now, and we have a topic we can talk about. It kind of shows him that we care about his interests, and it shows that we listen to him, and we kind of got something that he might have not gotten because he didn't know the brands, he didn't know what to get, he didn't know where to start. And sometimes all you need is a starting point. It can be very nice to have an outside source to give the starting point to you. In conclusion, I have some general guidelines you can keep in your head to deal with the stress of gifting and with getting presents for other people. You don't really have to get gifts. It's fine if you don't, it's fine if you're awkward about it, but if you're really strongly against it and if you really feel a lot of unease inside you, you should ask yourself, why is that? Is it not the right relationship, or do you feel you have to pay something back? Sometimes you just have to let loose. Another guideline is don't expect presents. That's not what it's about. It's hard to gift, and if somebody really takes the time and gets you something, they're just as nervous as you are when you get a present. So don't expect it. People really open up, take their time and effort. It doesn't matter what you get in the end. Just be grateful. Don't expect it. It is very important to have fun with it. It's all about the relationship, the process, knowing what you want, what the other person wants, and what your connection is. So have fun with it. That's what it's all about. There is no very good or very bad present. It's all about the relationship. And the last tip is any gift is the best one if it's self-made. So I hope you got some takeaways from this video. I appreciate all of you watching, and happy holidays.
Hey yo, you can do this. Let's go.